Hey, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jaden Somani. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the Draft Network's mock draft simulator and what I'm going to be calling a fantasy mock draft, something to that effect. You'll see it in the thumbnail and the title. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of see how much fun we can have with this first round of the 2020 draft. Do things that's definitely not going to happen in real life and just kind of see where things can go. This isn't going to be a real mock draft. I'm not counting this as a real mock draft. It's not going to be one of my official mock drafts. This is just completely for fun. It's going to be just some wacky stuff. We'll see what we can do that makes it just weird. If you do want to see a real mock draft, I did upload one on Christmas. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to go check that out. That is one of my official mock drafts that I have. That's the first one back on Christmas, so you can check that out. But we'll be doing something fun here. I do use the Draft Network. They have a very, very great setup of a simulator. The rankings are kind of iffy. Some of the players are ranked higher or lower than they really should be. A lot of them haven't been updated in like months, which kind of sucks. So you kind of have to use your own prospect scouting to do things. But I think it'd be fun to do. And we're going to start it off right away. I already have an idea for this one. I have no notes or anything in front of me. This is all live as like I'm just doing it in general. So let's just see what we can do. I already have this one kind of in my head. What we can do is I'm going to give the Bengals Chase Young. Let's say they're not sold on Burrow. Tua's injury might not be enough to go at number one for them. Maybe they'll address that quarterback position in free agency. They can go after a Dak Prescott, maybe go after a Cam Newton, or even a guy like Marcus Mariota could be their new guy. You never know what they could do with so many quarterbacks being there. Teddy Bridgewater as well. I've seen a lot of Bengals fans comment in that Christmas mock draft I did saying that I think one of the comments was saying that he wants the Bengals to sign Teddy B and get Chase Young. And I was like, that's very interesting. I didn't even think about that. So this could be something that's in play. I think Chase Young's just a talent that you can't pass up on. So in this fantasy world, we're going to have Chase Young going number one to the Bengals and lighting up that AFC North. At pick 2, I think that what the Redskins were gonna do if Chase Young was gone was they were gonna get Andrew Thomas. I don't think there's a really weird way to do this. Unless we do, let's keep it weird. Let's make it weird. Andrew Thomas is the easy pick. That'd be kind of realistic. I want to keep it weird. So at pick 2, I think they're going to stick with Haskins, and their receiving core is just not good. So why not give them the best receiver in the class, in my opinion? Very, very close run, but let's give them Jerry Jeudy at pick 2. They need help. Maybe Ron Rivera just needs a new weapon on that offense. He hasn't had a great receiver. He struck out on Kelvin Benjamin. DJ Moore hit his stride as of late. He wasn't a superstar like we all thought he was when he was the number one pick or the number one receiver picked in that draft. But I think that he's definitely a solid guy. Ron Rivera wants that new weapon in there. There's no tight end in the Redskins organization that's like healthy or good or not 35. It seems like receivers they paid Paul Richardson, hasn't been too well. Crowder left. You could use a guy. Terry McLaurin can't be the number one forever with no help. So Jerry Jeudy and Terry McLaurin with Dwayne Haskins is going to be a fun thing to see. Maybe they'll re-sign Trent Williams in this alternate universe. We never know. So at pick 3, now we have the Lions. The Lions can do a bunch of different things. So let's give them. Let's see. What do we want to do here? I think let's give them Burrow. Stafford's injury is a back injury. I guess he has broken pieces in his back. I don't know. We don't really know what it's going to be with Stafford. I hope he gets back to healthy because I really like watching Stafford play. He's got a great arm. He's been very, very good these past few years, especially very underrated. People can argue, was he worth the first overall pick over the time? You don't really know those things at the time, but let's say that injury is unfortunately serious and he has to retire or he has to take a step back maybe for a year or something. That will give the Lions a chance to have their future quarterback on the roster, be able to ship Stafford away and everything. So Burrow will be on the Lions in this draft. Now we go to the Giants. The Giants have a bunch of different things. They're not taking interior defensive linemen. I will not let them do that. I think that you can go offensive line here. You can go corner. Quarterback, we don't need. Receiver, I don't like because I like what we have at receiver. Isaiah Simmons, I think it's Simmons, but I've heard people say Simons, so I'm going to say both. You could use that as well. Let's see. Do we want to go? I'll give the Giants. Simmons or Okudah is really what I'm thinking right now. And I think that corner is just a bigger need. I think we can address the linebacker situation free agency. Obviously, this is an alternate universe, but let's give Jeff Okudah to the Giants. to help DeAndre Baker. That's a very young secondary, hopefully a very good secondary from there on. Now, Dolphins fans, this is a fantasy world, so I'm not going to give them Tua. I've gotten such 50-50 reviews on that Dolphins 7-round mock draft because it seems like a lot of the fan base doesn't believe in Tua anymore. Maybe that's going to change now that he's declared for the draft. It's a real thing. Like, we can, start focusing on it, and we've heard a lot more from him. But from what I know, Dolphins fans just a year ago they loved Tua. It seemed like, and people were just so excited for Tua. Like, hopefully he becomes a Dolphin. And now that it's probably the most likely possibility, people are just hating on it, which was weird for me to see. But I think that, let's say they're looking here, it's not the sexy pick, but Andrew Thomas is on the board. They need offensive line help. And even though they got rid of Laramie Tunsil, who was an All-Pro or a Pro Bowl, I think he was a Pro Bowler this year. I don't know why they got rid of him, but you got to replace that. You got to get a good offensive line. So they get Andrew Thomas here in this world. Now you go to the Chargers at pick 6, and we're going to give them Tua. Phillips going to be gone. Maybe Tua has to heal. They have Tyrod Taylor, so maybe Tua can take some time off, but I mean, he would be something to watch in LA, especially. What a market. The Chargers never have people at their games, and I think that getting a guy like Tua Tagovailoa would get them to the games. I think Tua and Mike Will and Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, I think it'd be a fun offense to watch. Very fast-paced offense as well, so that'd be kind of fun. So Tua Tagovailoa will be the 6th pick in this draft. Now we go over to pick 7 with the Panthers, and man, there's a bunch of it says they could use a quarterback. I mean, maybe we do give him Herbert here, huh? That'd be kind of fun, right? Let's give him Justin Herbert. Because Kyle Allen experience was a good 4 weeks, and then it just fell off the cliff. I think they might just re-sign Cam Newton and get back to that because obviously the Kyle Allen thing didn't work. But maybe at pick 7, those quarterbacks are going off the board. Let's get Justin Herbert there. Now, at pick 8, Cardinals need offensive line help. I like Derek Brown to them, which would be cool, but they do need offensive line help. But I'm going to give them CeeDee Lamb out of Oklahoma. Give that Kyler Murray connection. A lot of people want that to happen in real life. It wouldn't have been a necessity if they would have just drafted DK Metcalf over Andy Isabella last year, but they wanted Isabella for whatever reason. They could have had DK Metcalf, but CeeDee Lamb's going to be the new number 1 for them there, and Christian Kirk and him are going to have a good career together, I believe. At pick 9, now receiver is a big thing for the Jags, but obviously there's not many on the board left. So let's give him Isaiah Simmons. He could help out in the middle with Myles Jack. We don't know what Telvin Smith is doing. He took a year off for whatever reason that is, so he's not there anymore. And then you look at the Browns. The Browns could use some offensive line help as well. So let's give them the non-sexy pick, but Baker Mayfield's got to be protected even in the fantasy world. So let's give them Tristan Wirfs, who I think is the next best guy. Now we look at the Jets. Edge rusher would be big for them. Offensive tackle could be a good signing for them. I think that let's give them an edge rusher, I guess, right? Let's give them an edge rusher. So Epinesa is going to go to the Jets. Now we look at the Raiders. The Raiders need a receiver, linebacker, corner, quarterback. They need all those things pretty high. I don't think Jordan Love is high enough to take at this point, but let's give them linebacker, corner. Interior D-line is there too, safety. Let's give them, I don't know, Grant Delpit doesn't need to be there. I think they have good enough safeties. Abrams coming back next year. Hopefully he's worth the 1st-round pick. Joyner they have. So let's give them, we could give them an edge rusher. Man, there's a lot of good players here. I think it's too high to reach for all these guys. So let's just go with a non-sexy pick, and it's okay pick. Let's give him Christian Fulton, I think. Let's give him Fulton. We'll help them in the corner situation. I think that they got rid of Garyon Conley, which was a dumb move. He was one of the best corners, so Fulton will fill that role. Now we go to the Colts. Colts could use a quarterback. A receiver would be huge for them. They could use a lot of different things, to be honest. But I think that let's just get them the best player on the board, and let's give him Derek Brown at pick 13. Not the biggest necessity, I guess, but I think at pick 13, Derek Brown's there, you're taking him. Pick 14, Jameis Winston, I think, will be re-signed, even though he joined that illustrious 30 for 30 club. That ESPN's 30 for 30 said that's not what this is, but he 30 picks, 30 touchdowns. So, congrats to Jameis, but I don't think we're going to take a quarterback here. I think that they could use help in the secondary. I think that they could use help on the edge. I'm a big Kayvon Chason guy, so maybe Kayvon goes here. Diggs would be kind of fun, but Let's go. It says they need offensive tackle. Let's just okay. This one will be more of a realistic pick at this point. I don't think he'll be there. Maybe not this late, but Jedrick Wills has been getting a lot of boosts in his ratings from scouts and everything. So maybe Wills will turn out to be one of the better tackles coming out of this year. Originally, I thought Leatherwood was a better tackle, but I think Wills has really overcome that for some reason. Pick 15, Cortland Sutton could use a number 2. I think maybe Henry Ruggs would be kind of fun for him, 6 foot. Man, I'm a big Laviska Shenault guy. I really like Laviska. I'm a big, what's his name? T. Higgins guy as well. But man, Delpit staring at you, that's pretty interesting. Let's give them, I mean, it's going to be a fun one, right? So they already have Cortland Sutton, who's big, strong, and fast. Let's give them another guy from Clemson, T. Higgins, big, strong, just have 2 towers on the outside. Kind of like an Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall kind of combination like the Jets used to have. So the Broncos have 2 big guys now, which will be huge for Drew Lock. I guess it would be the quarterback of this situation. Now we get the Falcons, man, at 16. Let's see what we want from them. Freeman ended up having a pretty decent year, so I don't think running back needs to be this high. Receivers obviously not a need. Safety's not a huge need, I don't think. They need an edge. Chason would be pretty big. I think let's give them the corner. Do we go Diggs here? I'm a big Shaun Wade guy. I don't know where Shaun Wade is on this list. I mean, is there a different list? Shaun Wade's a guy I really like. I don't know why he's not around here. Maybe he's not coming out. Maybe that got announced. I don't know. But Trayvon Diggs would be kind of cool here. Man, let's give them Chason, I guess, right? They could use edge help, I guess. That D-line always needs help. So Takk McKinley, Chason. I think McKinley might be a free agent unless they re-sign him. But now the Cowboys, under new coach Mike McCarthy, I'm going to have a coaching carousel video coming out when most of the coaching spots are filled. So probably next week or the week after, depending on when. So I'll be on the lookout for that. But this is going to be kind of fun. Let's say Amari Cooper doesn't come back. Or I guess even if he does come back, they're going to want another receiver. And I'm a big Laviska Shenault guy. I just don't know. I mean, they're saying Ruggs is a 4.2 runner, which is huge. Grant Delpit's still on the board. Let's give the Cowboys Grant Delpit. I mean, I thought he was going to be one of the best safeties coming out into this year, and he really was. And then this year, he just did not have the best year. But that would be big for the Cowboys. So now the Dolphins already have a tackle in Andrew Thomas, which is huge. And they don't have another pick until pick 27, which is a little while. But I think that, Dolphins fans say they don't need a receiver, so I won't give them Henry Ruggs because they yelled at me on that last video for that. Maybe a running back would be kind of fun. Creed Humphreys up here, which would be kind of good. Biadasz is one of the guys I have pretty much locked to them every time, but I want this one to be a fun draft. So let's go to edge rusher. Maybe there's any good. I mean, Matos is there. I don't know about that. Corner, let's see. Diggs is there. They're not going to take a quarterback. Interior alignment, I think they could just build that offensive line, but let's give them Diggs. I think that'd be a fun duo there with Xavier Howard and then Diggs. So that'd be kind of good. At pick 19, they already got a corner. Receiver, I think is the next best thing that they need. Tyrell Williams needed help, and why not give him a 4.2 runner and Henry Ruggs then? So hopefully, if Carr fails with that offense, Josh Jacobs, Ruggs, Tyrell Williams, Darren Waller, it's not their fault. It's going to be him. Jags get another pick. We already give them a linebacker. They still need a receiver, and look at that, a guy that I am huge on, Laviska Shenault, going to the Jags. They still get a great receiver at pick 20, which is going to be huge for them. You look at the Eagles. The Eagles could use a lot. We saw a lot of things there. Kinlaw's still up there. McKinney's up there. I think that Sanders is a running back that they're going to believe in. I mean, they could use a running back, like a number 1 running back, but I don't know. I don't think they'll do it. Let's see here. Maybe a guy like Kenneth Murray might just light up the combine and prove everyone wrong, even though he's an Oklahoma defensive guy. A lot of people just don't believe in Oklahoma defensive players because, they're from Oklahoma. They don't usually turn out well. But let's go corner, maybe. Adebo's there, Bryce Hall. I don't like enough of them there at 21 at least. So I think this might just be like a best player scenario. I mean, Kinlaw is the best player they got, but they just re-signed all their interior line guys. Curtis Weaver, C.J. Henderson, Becton. Man, this is kind of tough, huh? I guess we can go with a wide receiver. I mean, I'm a big Ayuk guy out of ASU, so maybe Ayuk could go to 21. I think that'd be kind of fun, right? Let's give him Ayuk, huh? Why not? I've seen him go to 22, where the Bills are currently. So I've seen that. I think it was at pick 23 at the time, before they lost the playoff game, unfortunately. But there is not enough receivers to go around for them, so they need an edge rusher, it says. They're good at safety. Interior D-line would be a good help for them, but they just drafted Ed Oliver last year. Maybe some offensive line help. I think they could go offensive line here, so I think that's what we're going to do here. I think we're going to go with, let's switch to this board. Maybe this has different ones. Yeah, not really. I think we're going to go with an offensive line guy here. Actually, no, let's go with Gross Matos. I think that he'd be kind of fun to watch with that Ed Oliver combo. Trent Murphy's solid, but he's not the best. Patriots, they just lost. They need a tight end. There's no tight end worth grabbing in the first round, at least. Jared Pinkney out of Vanderbilt. I don't think he's going to be a number one guy. Man, they can go a lot of things. I think that, Brady's a free agent, right? Brady's a free agent, so why not give him a quarterback? Who do they got? Jordan Love, Eason, Hurts. Let's give him Hurts, man. Let's just do it. A completely new regime for the Patriots. Jalen Hurts in the first round going to them. That would be so insane, just to completely flip around from Tom Brady, a guy who will never leave the pocket, to Jalen Hurts, a guy who needs to leave the pocket to shine. That'd be really cool to see. Now we look here at the Saints. The Saints could use a couple different things. Let's give them an offensive lineman, I guess. They say they need one. Let's give them Biadish. They could always use another guy in there. Move him to guard maybe if they want. Now the Titans. All these picks coming on now can be moved at any moment. Right now they have the Titans losing, which I have them losing too. But man, what could they use? They could use an edge rusher, I guess, because the Cam Wake thing didn't really work out too well. Curtis Weaver is probably the next guy. Offensive lineman, a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback. Interior defensive line. I guess they gave Brady some pressure last game. Let's give them tight end, quarterback, interior. I guess let's just give them an offensive lineman. Creed Humphrey, I guess, would be the next best guy. Yeah, probably. Let's give him Creed Humphrey. Not a sexy pick, but it would be something cool. Now, Vikings need a corner. Even in the fantasy world, they need a corner. And there's not really any good corners left, C.J. Henderson. So we'll have to do something fun. And I don't know what could be fun. Let's say, okay, they're at pick 26. Let's say they believe in Jordan Love. Kirk Cousins, he's doing pretty well. He's having a good season. Let's just have some fun with it. And let's give him Jordan Love to be the successor to Kirk Cousins after this year. Kind of do a Mahomes thing. Now at pick 27, Dolphins still don't have a quarterback. Maybe they have to believe in Rosen at this point. And I think they're going to have to. So let's give them who I think is the best running back in the class, in Jonathan Taylor, in the first round, which would be kind of fun. Pick 28, let's see. Seahawks, edge rusher, wide receiver, offensive line, interior defensive line. Edge, they have Clowney. I guess, if they need an edge, we can give them an edge. But they could use a corner, in my opinion. Flowers just got beat a lot the past few games. He's gotten a couple penalties. Let's give him C.J. Henderson, see what they can do there. Chiefs could use any help on the defensive side. They could use a running back. Let's give them a running back. DeAndre Swift would be kind of fun to watch on that offense. That offense is just be so legendary with so many good, young, talented players. Now we got wide receiver, linebacker, offensive tackle. Let's give him Kenneth Murray. Maybe he'll amount to something in the league. I think that he would work well, especially with the linebackers that they already have. I think that'd be kind of cool to see. 49ers, man. 49ers can go a couple of different places, but I guess you do have to replace Richard Sherman. But the corners have been taken up so much in this draft, so we can't really do that. It says they need a safety, so McKinney's really good. I like McKinney. So McKinney will go there. And then with the last pick in the draft, the Baltimore Ravens still need a receiver, linebacker, edge. Judon needs some help. And we kind of knew that when they let Zadarius Smith go, which sucked. So I think that we will give them probably Curtis Weaver would be kind of fun. unless you think of Jalen Reagor as a top guy, 5'11". I don't think you want to get Reagor and Hollywood Brown together. You need some height. So let's give him Curtis Weaver to end out the first round. I mean, you could take a running back maybe to like a Dobbins, who's had a great thing, or ETN, who's had a great time as well, to back up Mark Ingram. So yeah, let's do it. I think ETN is a little bit better than Dobbins. Dobbins had a great game this last game, but this hasn't been updated in a while. But I think ETN is the better prospect coming out. 5'10" versus 5'10". I mean, same pretty much build. So let's go with Travis Etienne for the Ravens to end the first round mock draft and replace Mark Ingram when it's time. It'll be another dual set with the Saints, what they did with Mark Ingram. Even though he hasn't really lost a step, I'm a big Mark Ingram fan. So let's go through it. We got the Bengals passing up on Burrow for a Chase Young guy. That's a talent there. You got Jerry Jeudy going number 2 to the Redskins. That's a Julio Jones type pick going that high. So definitely they believe in him there. Ron Rivera wants his guy. Burrow taking over for Stafford in Detroit. Stafford's going to either be on the move or have to retire with that injury. Corner help with the young guys in Giants. They add another one with Jeff Okudah. And hopefully Gettleman doesn't get too much flack for that pick, as Andrew Thomas was still on the board, but they got Okudah instead, as Andrew Thomas goes to number 5. Tua is the new regime in L.A. For the Chargers. Then we got Herbert being the new regime for Carolina. They're going to have a new head coach. They're going to have pretty much a brand new style of offense. Cam Newton will be on the move somewhere. CeeDee Lamb filling out the receiver core in Arizona, hopefully to learn under Larry Fitzgerald, because everyone wants to see Larry keep playing. Simmons is going to go to the Jaguars in the interior. Wirfs is going to help protect Baker Mayfield. Epineza to be what they wanted Leonard Williams to be, and hopefully he is for them. Christian Fulton to help out the corner situation in the Raiders. Derek Brown to be a mean force in the middle for the blue and white. Then we got Jedrick Wills to help protect Jameis Winston from maybe throwing only 20 picks this next year. T. Higgins just to have big body receivers for the Broncos in Cortland Sutton. Caleb Von Chason is going to be another edge rusher that could be on the Falcons. Maybe they don't have enough money to sign everybody. It'll keep the money low and go from there. Grant Delpit at safety for the Cowboys for the new Mike McCarthy Cowboys, which would be kind of cool. Trayvon Diggs to be the second pick for the Dolphins. And I got Andrew Thomas and Diggs, which would be some big corner help. Henry Ruggs will just be the speedy guy on the outside across from Tyrell Williams on the other side of the field. Then we got Laviska Shenault, another receiver going right behind him at pick 20. Which is just one of my favorite guys in this draft. Then we got another receiver, one of my other favorites in Brandon Ayuk going 21 to the Eagles, because no matter what, the Eagles needed a receiver here, and all of them kept getting taken, so they're getting the next best available in my opinion. We got Gross Matos going on to that young interior line the young defensive line, my apologies, with Ed Oliver. Jalen Hurts just completely jumping up, had a great combine in this fantasy world. He's going to be going to the Patriots to take over for Brady. Now we got Tyler Biadasz to go to the Saints. He's going to help out that offensive line for whatever quarterback's going to be behind them. Creed Humphrey, another thing, is Tannehill. He's up there in age, even though he's performing very well. Humphrey's got to protect him. Now we got Jordan Love, who's going to be a guy that you can sit. He's not really a pro-ready guy yet. You're going to sit him, and he can be your new QB after Kirk Cousins. Jonathan Taylor to round out that first round for the Dolphins, so they get one of the best offensive line prospects I've ever seen in Andrew Thomas. Now they got Jonathan Taylor to run behind him, and they have Diggs on the other side. C.J. Henderson to help out Shaquille Griffin, because Trey Flowers gets kind of beat a lot. Shaquille's not the best. I think they could always use another corner in that room. DeAndre Swift, I don't know why I said Swift. Swift is going to be going 2 picks after Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs, which would be fun to watch. Kenneth Murray, the linebacker from the Packers, originally at Oklahoma, obviously. They're going to take the chance on him. Hopefully he can work with that great defense. He won't be as put on an island. Maybe he'll have a better chance to succeed. Xavier McKinney, obviously the next best safety for a 49ers team that doesn't need too much help. And Travis Etienne to learn behind Mark Ingram, do another Kamara Ingram situation, and Ingram will eventually fall out at that age in the next year or two. So Etienne will be there. So that is going to be it for my fantasy fun, whatever I decide to title this mock draft. This is not to be taken seriously. So go ahead, leave your comments below on if you thought your pick would be a funny pick or a wild pick or kind of crazy. What do you think would happen with your team? Let me know what your team is in there. Kind of give me a little scenario that you think would happen if your team did take the players I gave them. go ahead and go to the Draft Network. I'll leave a link in the description. Do your own mock draft. Leave your results in there. See how fun you can get, how creative you can get with it. Mock draft season's the best. It's always just time to have fun. So let me know what you can do there. But without further ado, that is going to end it. If you didn't like the video, make sure you just refresh it and watch it again. Maybe you'll like it a lot better the second time. And with that, that's going to be it for me. And I will see you guys in the next video.